Hi mathematicians, today you are going to need your addition practice math book and you are also going to need your volume 1 math book. Today in math we are going to learn about how to measure the space inside an object, and that is the mathematical term area. So we're going to watch a video to explain how we can accomplish finding the area of shapes, different shapes and objects, and then we will do some problems together. Then I will send you off on your own to work on your addition practice math book. All right, here we go.
How do you measure area? Think about this question during the lesson. Emily made a collage in art class. She cut shapes to make her design. What is the area of this shape? Area is the number of unit squares needed to cover a region with no gaps or overlaps.
All in the inside.
A unit square is a square with sides that are each 1 unit long. A unit square has an area of 1 square unit. Here is the unit square for this lesson. Why do you need a unit square to find the area of a shape?
Why do you think you need a unit square to find the area? Let's see.
You need to know the size of the square you are using to cover the shape. If your square is a different size, bigger or smaller, a different number of unit squares would cover the same area. How many unit squares cover Emily's shape? The exact count is the area of the shape.
All right, so let's try that. I'm gonna zoom in. So if you want to touch the screen to count with me, you can, okay? Or you can kind of just watch me. So we are just worrying about this shape. Looks kind of like a T. So we're worrying about just the squares inside the T, none of the ones on the outside. Okay, well, how can we accomplish that? How can we find out the area or the square units? Well, how about count them? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So the area, do you agree with me, is 36 square units because we used 36 of these squares to cover the surface to find the area. Let's see if we're right.
36 square units cover this shape.
Yes.
The area of the shape is 36 square units. To prevent losing your place while counting the squares, it may help you to number each square as you count. Is there a way to find the number of unit squares that cover Emily's shape without counting each one? Explain your thinking.
What do you
You
think?
could divide.
Don't tell us yet. What do you think? What could we do? Well, we could count all of them, which is what we did, but as I was counting them, I was kind of noticing some arrays. Were you? Could we maybe split it up and we have an array here? We could figure out the multiplication problem too. We have an array here that we could figure the multiplication problem out to. And then could we add them together? That might be quicker than sitting there and counting 36. And a lot of times it's gonna be more than 36. So if we find a strategy that's easier than sitting there and counting, that is a great choice. Let's see if that is what they suggest us to do.
the shape into a 3 by 8 rectangle and a 3 by 4 rectangle. To find the squares that cover the top rectangle, count 8 squares in each row. Then multiply by 3 rows to find 24 squares. To find the squares that cover the bottom rectangle, count 4 squares in each row. Then multiply by 3 rows to find 12 squares. 24 plus 12 equals 36. The area of Emily's shape is 36 square units. Sometimes you can estimate the area. You can combine partially filled squares to help you estimate full squares. First, count the number of full unit squares. There are 23 of them. Next, combine partially filled unit squares to help you estimate the number of full unit squares. About 27 unit squares cover this shape. The area of the shape is about 27 square units. Now you know how to find the area of a figure by counting the number of unit squares that cover that figure.
Great job!
All right, so we are going to tear out or turn to page 211 in our math book, in our topic 1 math book. So there's going to be 2 different kinds of shapes. There's going to be the shapes that we love, where we can already see the unit squares and they're full unit squares. But then remember in the video how they had that circle and there were some that were just little pieces? That's when we're going to have to estimate or get an about number. So for number 3 and 4, it says count to find the area. Tell if the area is an estimate. Do you think we have to estimate on this one? No. Let's just go ahead and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm going to stop for a minute because I know there's 5 in each row. How many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where we could use our multiplication. 5 times 4 equals what? Oops, here we go. 5 times 4 equals what? Write it down. It equals 20, right? So, I'm going to unzoom you a little bit. We could count them just to make sure. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We should have gotten 20 square units. We want to make sure we include square units on that. Okay? So we did not have to estimate there because they were full square units. There weren't any little pieces. But then let's look down here. Let's look at number 4. And I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. You also have it in your math book, right? When I look at this, I see 1, 2 nice full ones. What about you? But then all the other ones are not square units. They're not the total square. So I know I'm going to estimate. So I'm going to put right away about, because that's the keyword we use when we are estimating. So then if we look, oh, okay, well maybe I could do, I've got 1, 2 full ones, 3, looks like 4, and if I put those 2 together, about 5. Do you agree? About 5 what? 5 monkeys? No. About 5 square units. Okay? Whoop. Making it big and small for you. So now let's look at our next ones. numbers 5, 6, and 7. So let's go ahead and start with 5. Oh, 5 looks really nice. I don't think I'm going to need to estimate on that one. What do you think? So you can count them, or you could break them up just like in the video. I might break it up. I see this right here is a nice square, or rectangle I should say. And it has how many rows? 1, 2. And then how many in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's 2 times 4? 2 times 4 is 8, right? And then I can look at this little square, and it's actually pretty easy just to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So what's 8 plus 4? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is 12, what, hot dogs? No, 12 square units. Okay, so then let's look at the next one. This one right away, I know I'm going to have to what? Estimate. That's going to be one that is about. So like they suggest, look at the ones first that are nice, big, full ones. And if you look in the middle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say 7, 8. Do you agree? This one's about 9, about 10. What about if we put these two together? 12. Maybe put these two together. 13. And put these two together. 14. About 14. Square units. All right. And then let's try one more. I want you to go ahead right now, and I want you to try this one on your own. So if you need to pause the video, I want you to do your strategy. What did you like? Counting them? Splitting it up? Also think about, what is it going to be? Is it a perfect shape? Do you see perfect square units? Are you going to have to estimate? So pause the video, answer the question, and then turn it back on when you're ready. All right, so you should have written about, because I see some little pieces that are not exact squares. So you should have known to estimate. Now let's count. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 perfect ones. 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you get 8 perfect square units? Me too. And then if you look here and here, you might be able to put those two together to make one more. So that should be about 9. Now remember, when you estimate, about means if you were at 8 or you were at 10, that's still fine because it's close to 9. But if you counted 3, way off. If you counted 30, way off, okay? So that is how you find the area. What I am going to have you do now is I am going to have you get your practice book, and you are going to turn to page 69, and you are going to work on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I also want you to do number 9. Actually, I'm gonna have you do number 7 too. I'm gonna have you do number 7, number 9, and number 12. Put a little star next to 9 and put a little star next to 12. Those are your discussion posts, all right? Have fun finding the area. Don't forget to make sure you are writing square units. Don't forget to write about if you know to estimate, if you know you're estimating, okay? All right, talk to you later, bye.